up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Another excellent video. Most excellent of videos. And I'm not just talking about the video in the video. No, I'm talking about something, shall we say, great? Hey, I got you. Greatness is what this video is about. It's about greatness. You guys are great already. We're gonna give you some more greatness, some more greatness. All right, so buttons are fun. They can be fun. I got the good ones, so holla. Yeah. Anyway, check it out. It's a cool video. I'm gonna try and make sure your attention spans are stimulated. Okay. And by that, I'm talking about better audio. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We read the comments. We know. We get it. So, this is the episode numero uno avec le microphones. Microvella. I don't know what I'm saying. Microvella is German for microwave.
I know when that microwave ding.
And the rest was French and Spanish. So, or my pathetic attempt at it. Yeah, anyway, hopefully you guys understand the rest of this video because, it's only in one language. And hopefully you guys, are well conversed in the English vocabulary.
Do you speak it?
Why did I say that with a French accent? I don't know. You know what? I'm from... We speak a lot of that other language that rhymes with Dench. Judi Dench. That's a person. I don't really know who that is. I know it's an actress. You know what? It's one of those things where you think of a name and you're like, who dat? Right? But you know the name. So she did something right because you guys don't know my name. Or do you? I'm just kidding. I don't care. Cry in the corner. Anyway, watch the video. It's good. Okay? I'm going to make it even better by letting everyone else talk except for me. Enjoy the video.
Hello! Welcome back to another episode of What Are You Saying? After a long break, we are finally back. We've just been busy with our own schedules, filling out some time, putting in some work. We haven't been...
Hold on. Sorry to cut you off. Can you do that again? Look at these ugly shoes, bro.
Oh my
God, bro. Look at this.
Zoom in on those
Man
Crocs,
is an
bro.
auntie,
They're
bro.
not even official Crocs.
Bro.
They're not even official Crocs.
bro.
It says sport. You don't use this in sport, bro.
First of all, I don't wear Crocs.
No one cares what you're talking about right now, bro.
Oh my
Look
God,
at this guy,
bro. Don't even listen to this man, bro.
Sorry about that. We just have to expose him. Jaffers, go back to
Okay.
the
It's all
topic,
good,
man.
it's all good.
Okay.
It's all good.
We'll use that as that.
All right, let's go. Start it off, buddy.
All right. Welcome back to another good episode, another amazing episode, another deep episode of What Are You Saying with Jaffer, Osama, and Mohammed.
Almost forgot our names, but it's alright.
What? What do you mean almost forgot our name? You assumed that I
should've called them
forgot. You
Carriers.
assumed it. Yeah. Don't. No.
But what is the topic,
No,
Jaffer?
no,
What are
no.
you talking about today?
Okay, today's topic is a topic that I've really wanted to talk about for a long time. It's something that the three of us really have a really deep passion about.
Deep. Like the ocean.
Throughout history, there have always been special people who have... Guys, bro, you ruined the mood, bro.
This guy
You ruined the mood.
This guy called the lake.
I
was
know,
about
I
to
know,
get serious
This guy
for a
called the
bit.
lake and ocean.
It's a metaphor. It's
Oh
the metaphor,
my
not
God,
the lake, bro.
Sorry.
The metaphor.
I'm just warming
you just
up,
get
bro.
in the way, man.
I'm sorry.
talking about metaphor.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Deep like the ocean. I know it's a lake.
Throughout
Ontario.
history, there have been special people who have been able to captivate us and motivate us to reach our highest potential. Our heroes when we were young as kids. They fill us up with hope and emotion and power. You watch them on screen or in real life and you think, I want to be like this guy one day, or I want to have the qualities of this person one day. People like Malcolm X, Bruce Lee, Steve Jobs, Alexander the Great, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson. People that you can just look at and be like, this guy is powerful. This person is amazing. I want to be like this person. And so today's topic is about greatness and legacy. The first component of greatness and legacy that we believe is sacrifice. So who wants to start off with sacrifice first?
I think you should, since you started it off.
I did this whole intro and I'm kind of exhausted.
Okay.
So you guys,
Okay.
I needed to plan it out. Okay. I needed
Okay,
to plan.
guys,
I wanted it to
That's
sound
what I say.
cool. Okay.
If you want to be great, don't say that.
What? What?
Go on, Mo.
Sacrifice. The funny thing is, man's not okay. Sorry, don't listen. But we're talking about greatness, right? So when it comes to sacrifice, you can't have greatness without sacrifice, right? Because sacrifice is the biggest component.
Of course.
I think when it comes to sacrifice, it's pretty underrated, which is weird.
And that is
though,
the reason why people don't.
even though people acknowledge sacrifice, it's really underrated because no one looks towards it, right? People think like it could just happen in a day.
People
but
want both.
But
People want
nothing
both.
happens in a day, right? Obviously. Just like in the social media episode, I said that like this is not the first idea we worked on and stuff, right? And it takes a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And from the first episode, the biggest complaint was the audio.
Yeah.
Like our audio was not clear. You couldn't hear us. You had to make it bigger, like louder and stuff. So you're like, you know what? I told the guys we're not shooting unless we have the best audio
But-
equipment because we have the best camera,
Yeah.
best audio, right? So as you can see right now, we did what we had to do because sacrifice, right?
Sacrifice even goes deeper though. Like when you love something to the extent, like for example, how we met almost a year and a half ago at Monahan's, and we spoke about what we want to do and change. Like we want to change culture, we want to influence people, and then we're
In
like
the best way possible.
in the best way possible, right? So obviously we said, and we started talking about YouTube, and not with no intention of making one, just talking about like how big we can get it. A lot of, even like within the past year, our journey, which a lot of you guys don't know, like people keep asking us, oh, when's the next episode coming out? We sacrifice jobs, not going to our jobs to work. We're sacrificing money.
Calling in sick.
We're sacrificing calling in sick. We're sacrificing our friends and chilling and family time. We're sacrificing personal time.
Kids, man.
You're sacrificing like relationships if you have one. So I feel you sacrificing yourself to go to the next level is imperative and it's to be successful.
Like sacrifice and focus go hand in hand, right? All of the people, all the big business gurus, all the big people, they always say like you need to focus on truly getting like what you want. You need to focus on all of that, right? And so what does that truly mean? That means you need to get rid of all of the distractions. The only thing you need to think about is what you really need to do, right? And that's what all of them say. So, and like what Mo said just before, right? Like there are so many things that people aren't willing to cut out.
Yeah.
That's the reason why a lot of people don't reach their highest potential.
It's ridiculous.
It's because they have this mindset that like, oh, I can get this and I can get this, but that's not always the case, right? Because if you have both of one thing, then the intensity isn't there. You're dividing your attention and your energy, right?
Yeah.
When you focus all your attention and energy on one thing, it is more likely to happen. It is more likely to come true, right?
Agreed 100%.
The funny thing is, okay, now I'm in my element, now I'm in my flow. There's a cup. Everyone has a cup. Greatness, legacy, whatever you want to call it, whatever the art, the work, the discography, the artistry of whoever you could think of, any influencer you could think of, everyone has a cup. Now, everyone's cup is empty. You want the cup to be full. And the cup will be filled with your works, your books, novels, movies, scripts, whatever, YouTube videos, whatever you want to call it stuff, right? Now, everyone thinks that the cup is full because of the work. Half of the cup is really derived of sacrifice. You do not get the other half, the success, the accolades, the accomplishments, the noticement from the people, the acknowledgement, the respect, everything. Half of that cup is sacrifice. You do not get the other half without that. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
of
think it's
course.
actually good that we're talking about that because people's like, oh my God, this artist, look at everything he's done. But before
don't
he
see-
became
you
that,
don't
you
see
do not
behind
know
that.
behind the
Sacrifice.
scenes.
You don't
do
see all the
not
pain.
See the pain, the
But see-
suffering, those moments when they're alone, crying in the dark because everyone's against me. My parents are telling me that I'm failing. My friends are telling me that I'm crazy. I have no money because all my money's going towards this idea, this big idea of my head. and
dream.
stuff,
You
right?
know-
This dream. So really, half of that cup is the
To
sacrifice.
add on to your point, right? You spoke about dreams, right? And how like dreams, if you want to achieve your dream, sacrificing a lot of like, I guess like right now, if you look back at high school, right?
Yeah.
You're always chilling, vibing. It wasn't that serious because like you weren't being indulged into this real world vibe. You were just entering like first year college, first year university, so you had no idea what you wanted to do. You were just in a system of like, oh, I graduate and go to get a job and that's it. You make whatever salary you end up making for the like, rest of your life. But coming now and seeing this progress, we did not come this whole way to stop.
Of course not. Of
Right?
course not. Of
So
course not.
sacrificing, we sacrificed a lot, bro. Like, I even like will look back on our first potential video. A lot of us had to call in sick to come, and it didn't go well.
Yeah.
But we learned.
Yeah.
Sacrifice has a lot to do with learning. You learn and you use that, and like even Wilson, like just like a couple minutes ago, how the first video, everyone was like, "Yo, the audio is bad. The audio is this. The audio is that."
You learn how to use pain to your advantage.
100%.
Exactly. You got
Pain
to.
and love, and then you use that to your advantage, and you end up getting the best product ever.
That's
Yes.
it. So
Right?
I don't know if the camera person can get a close up. Actually, no, our AI, Andreas, can you get a close up of the audio, just to let people know that like what we're doing and stuff, right? Because
We've invested in this.
you got to. That's what it takes. We want to become a top tier YouTube channel, a top tier marketing ploy, a top tier whatever you name it. So to get that cup to be full, you have to do whatever it takes.
Yes.
We shot our second video as far as like our progression practice videos. We shot our second video here, beautiful quality and everything, right? Like what if we come back, who knows, a few months later and just shoot the same video?
Yeah.
We're shooting that same video right now with the best audio, with the best camera quality and the best director. And that's what it takes, right? It takes sacrifice. Nothing happens in a day. If you want it to happen in a day, you can go ahead, but you won't get the best results.
It won't be the high quality
You
result.
gotta take those small baby steps. 'Cause
Dude.
with those small baby steps, you will get to where you want to go.
You have to
right?
have the fundamentals, the early fundamentals, like level 1, level 2, and
Yeah.
keep learning. A lot of the times, for example, like just look at life. Like when we wanted to film our first potential video, right?
Yeah.
We thought, okay, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. At this time we'll do this. At this time we'll do this. Nothing that we said is gonna happen happened.
We didn't quit though.
Right? We didn't quit.
we
We're like,
go.
all right. It may took us a while. Me and Mo sacrificed a lot of our time to start editing videos. We learned the
We
process.
looked at how bad it was and we're like,
You're like,
okay,
no.
this has to be better because we're better.
Right? But you know, even like if you look at like just speaking about sacrifice and what like he spoke about Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, all these guys, they sacrificed to make change. We're trying to make change, and to make change, you gotta sacrifice the life you're living now to live a better life down the road.
Yeah.
And a lot of like if you want to go into engineering, you want to go to medical school, you want to go to law school, you want to become an influencer, an entrepreneur, the life you're living now is not gonna get you there.
Of course not.
If you're just playing video games, you're just obviously on your phone 24/7, not willing to put in the work, then you don't love what you do. You just love the fact that you're living a dream. As one of my buddies said, wanted to live in a Disney movie. And
Shout out to your buddy.
Yeah.
and you living in a Disney movie, and like, look, what happens in movies?
Too funny.
What happens in movies doesn't happen in reality. Like, you know what's funny is like you see things in movies. you're
Quote
like,
that. Quote that.
You see, no, legit, bro. Like, how many times you see a movie about, like, for example, any movie about like business, like, oh, this is the life, but then like you're working towards it, it's like this is nothing how they portray them in the
Yeah.
cinemas.
It's true. And the thing is with sacrifice, like time also applies. It's really like
Of course,
it's like you're playing a game. It's like you're playing a game of chess against time.
time is an essence.
Oh,
every
wow.
move that you make,
That's probably the best analogy I've ever heard from you, Mo.
every move you make better be on point because time, as your opponent, is never gonna make a mistake.
Nope.
So it does not.
If it's,
No,
on, if it's
no,
on
it
your
will
side,
not.
if it's on your side,
It's not gonna. But the point is, it's never gonna make a mistake.
not gonna make a
So the point
mistake.
is, your move better be correct, better be along towards the path of greatness. Whatever you exceed, whatever idea
It
you
has
have
to
in
be
your
in the
mind.
favor of time.
Because whatever move you have that goes to waste, time is gonna be going against
It's going
you,
to
know,
punish it.
we
and it's
spoke-
gonna make sure that you learn your lesson,
we
right?
spoke so much about sacrifice, right? How much are people willing to sacrifice to achieve something? You realize a lot of the times, people when they want to start something, they're like, I can't sacrifice
Well,
this, I can't
here's the
sacrifice
thing,
that.
right? When you look at the statistics of, say, any type of endeavor, like creative or weightlifting or just being successful in general, if you look at the general statistic of all of it, it always says like, oh, 90% of people don't actually get there. Why is that? Why do you think there's that? Do you know why? It's because the majority of the people, the masses, they're just stuck in being like, oh, consume, eat food, do this, do that. They're not. One big part, I think, of achieving your highest potential is to achieve your own high self-awareness.
Yeah.
To know what you're capable of, then you know where to go from there, right?
100%.
If you do not know how to look at yourself, how to think for yourself, how to be yourself, you cannot ever think how can you become the best person?
Yeah.
You will be trapped in this perpetual, infinite, consumer state of mind, right?
Yeah.
And that's the point, right? Like then you wake up and you're like, oh, I need to get this stuff out of my life if I want to be a successful YouTube channel or if I want to be a successful artist in any way, or a business guru, or a business manager, or anything, right?
Yeah. It's crazy because we're at the lake right now, and as you're saying that, I'm looking at the
Oh,
water
wow!
and stuff.
You're looking at what?
I'm looking at the water and stuff, right? And the question is, like, how much do people really sacrifice? Do they really give in and stuff, right? And as I'm looking back at the water, for every wave that I see, it's for every waste of opportunity that could have went to someone, but they decide not to use that advantage and stuff, not use that opportunity.
Wow.
Because the world, the people that we look up to, even though they're so great, they're only few numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people that we name, like our
Yeah.
heroes,
Yeah.
it's only 10 to 20.
Yeah.
The whole world looks up to the 10 to 20 people. So as we look at the water, every wave is to every person that's around us that has an idea, but they just let it go to waste because they didn't think that they could actually do it. They think that
They don't think it's great.
They,
No.
they couldn't
They
see
don't think it's
themselves. They couldn't see themselves in the position to actually want to change the world.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's just gone to waste.
Yeah.
It's an idea that actually could have cultivated and made a better
Yeah.
world.
100%.
It's just gone to waste, and literally, it's just a bunch of waves sailing from one end to the other end of the world.
Yo, you know-
while
you know-
people,
And it's because-
while people
No.
who are actually want to change the world are standing, looking, and reflecting how to actually use these
They
waves
self-reflect on what
and
they could
just
do
make
better.
it a better possibility.
But you know, I just want to say one thing. It's something I heard a couple days ago, right? And it's at the mosque, right? And the sheikh was like, he told us makes a story of like, get a glass jar,
Oh yeah.
fill golf balls in it.
Golf balls?
Yes,
Golf balls.
golf
Is,
balls.
is it full?
No, it's not.
It's not. So he says, you add something small. You add what do you call it? You add, like, let's say you add like beans or
pebbles.
whatever, like pebbles or whatever.
Pebbles.
So you keep adding more stuff. Is it full? No, it's not.
There's still space.
There's still space. You keep adding until you keep adding like now like seeds, or you keep adding flour, you keep adding sand
Sand.
until it gets completely full. My point being is, until that gets full, that's how much you have to sacrifice.
Yes.
Take
Oh,
things
wow.
out of your life
That's a really
and
good,
sacrifice
That's
it.
a really good point.
The golf balls can represent the time that you waste on your phone. Take that out. Each
Yeah.
golf ball is an hour of your time you waste on your phone.
Yeah.
Your friends, if you chill with them for 7 days a week, it has to be 1 day a week now. Say, nope, I gotta take my time and focus on this project. Then you gotta go, it's like, oh, my girlfriend, I gotta see her, or my boyfriend gotta see him. If you wanna see him, they better be a part of your success. Like, I believe in you as much as you believe in yourself. Like, they have to push you.
Many people our age do not realize how important our 20s are, right?
They're not. It's
when
so
you
important.
are in your 20s, this is what's going to make or break the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Right? If these decisions that you make right now as a young adult are gonna shape your character, your destiny, your personality, right? And you have to get to the point where you can refine all your decisions and all your choices to make sure you become that best person, right?
Of course.
I just recently learned I need to slow down a lot. I've always had that impatience thing where I'm always like, oh, I need to get there fast because I've always gotten there fast. As a young kid, I've always gotten things what I want, always, right? But life is not like that. You have to, the greatest things always are like a slow grind, and you have to get used to it. You have to love it.
You know,
and that's
you
the thing.
have to love the process and deploy patience, right? Which is something this guy's really good at when it comes to patience.
I'm something envious about this guy.
I respect really
Yeah.
much because, like, we're patient in our own ways, but for him, I feel like one thing he really has
Yeah.
is he's like, I know it's gonna happen, but you have to be patient.
Yeah.
Like, being patient for like a minute isn't gonna help you. Like, you have to understand it's gonna take a long time before you get.
And you have to
long
love.
time.
You have to love just like having like. You have to love
Love-
not having it yet.
No, yeah,
Not
exactly.
having it
that
yet.
and love the fact that you're gonna fail every single time, because sacrifice doesn't mean if you sacrifice this you're gonna start winning. No, it's like think of it like baby steps. Like a baby starts crawling 1st, and then he starts walking, and then it's just like, and then it's like he starts learning the process. Okay, it is walking properly, and he obviously starts running, stuff like that. With that being said, there's always steps in life to obviously moving forward and getting what you want. Like even for us. We started filming with your GoPro.
Yeah.
We started filming with your GoPro. The second video was here
practice.
at this location. We started filming here, and then we were like, we started going to different locations. We're like, we gotta go to different locations. And then we went, and obviously a few months around the road, we called our videographer Andreas, our creative director, and he was like, we told him about the opportunity. He's like, this is what you need from you guys. I need you to go back, draw me your drawing board, and get it back to me. And if I basically agree with what you guys are saying, I'll help you out. We did so. He agreed, and even though at the time I knew him very well, he wasn't gonna do it based on friendship. He was gonna do it based on like opportunity, and he basically believed in the product. We brought him on to our team, and here we are now, maybe a year and a half later.
Yeah, and the thing is, with sacrifice, like, for me, like, my name, I don't deserve my last name if I don't apply the sacrifice. Because my name is Muhammad Al Hassan, right? And where I come from, what I'm taught, my parents raised me that to become great, to actually want to do something, before receiving, you have to give. Always have to give.
You always
You
have to
always have to give back.
You're not
have to give.
entitled to anything in life. The only way you're entitled to something is by seeing the smile from someone else. They're the benefactor from what you gave to them, right? So that's one thing that how I see life, and that's where I come from. So my name, my last name, I know that's what it means. Like, one big part of it is sacrifice, and through that, man, you just make anything a better place. It doesn't have to be the whole world. There's people around you.
You know,
and stuff,
I want to transition to I guess not even transition. Let's talk about, like, you spoke about how influencers like that who like basically did a lot, who were great and like kept a great legacy.
Yeah.
What obviously kept them so great is them sacrificing their lives. So who do you feel in your, like, for all, I guess all three of us, who do you feel in your head that stands out, sacrificed a lot to become great?
Sacrificed a lot to become great.
Like, obviously in your perspective, it's like, who's someone who you feel
In my perspective,
that relates to you?
my hero who I always looked up to, who I recently, you know, like when I was like 15, 16, was Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was my biggest hero when I was a kid. I saw his amount of focus, his amount of discipline. I saw how much respect he had for other people.
Yeah.
How much he combated racism for his own natives of his country. How much he just stood up for people. How he you know, lifted people up with power and his own sense of, like, because he wasn't actually a very big guy when he started weightlifting and stuff
No,
like
no,
that.
yeah.
I've read all of his books. He was a very skinny guy, and
Yeah.
all of the bodybuilders of that time said like it's incredible how perfect he built his physique. It was sculpted. It was like marble,
Yes.
right? And like it got to the point where people even didn't believe how strong he was, right? And people still don't believe how strong he was.
Of course.
There's so many myths and facts that are mixed up. Like he can catch a grain of rice, but it's like they're like superhuman myths,
yes,
right?
yes,
He can sidekick
The ping pong commercial, the people running back's actually him in the video.
Yeah.
With the nunchucks. Incredible.
You know, for me, I guess someone that stands out to me all the time and I relate to a lot is Muhammad Ali. You know, ever since I was like, what I liked about him is he always referred to him as himself as the greatest of all time. Because to sacrifice, you have to think of yourself as the highest form possible. Because when you think of your highest form possible, you're able to do whatever. You program your brain. It's like, I can be the best as long as I believe I'm the best, right?
Yeah.
He sacrificed a lot. He was raised up in a time where obviously black people, the black community wasn't treated well, and no one believed he'd be a good boxer.
Yeah.
No one believed. Like,
no
nah,
one believed in him. Too.
No one believed in him. Like,
No one
they're like,
believed in
no,
him.
you're not good. Whatever.
Yeah.
I think it was his first championship fight. I think it was against Sonny
Liston.
Liston, right? He beat him.
1964.
He beat Sonny Liston in the whole
I think he
world.
destroyed him, too.
Dude, he even predicted the match
Yep.
Yeah.
in the round.
And that's where a lot of these fighters in like UFC and boxing are getting that idea
Of course,
from.
of
He's
course.
the one who started that.
The originator.
Right?
That's
The
when you
originator.
saw, like, as a kid, when you saw that, didn't that just make you go, whoa, this
Yes.
guy is amazing.
I remember seeing
this guy is amazing.
They're doing like he sacrificed so much for this guy would sacrifice so much for the community. Like people who would go behind his back and say one thing, to his head they'll say another because they're obviously like, oh, he's a boxer or whatever. He sacrificed not only for his life but for the whole boxing industry. Boxing is not the same no more if it wasn't for Muhammad Ali.
Of course.
Muhammad Ali is the reason why you said UFC fighters, professional wrestling, boxing, they'll say, not only am I going to beat you in this match, but I'm going to teach you a
I'm gonna
lesson.
be you like this in this round at this minute.
Like,
and to
Muhammad-
be able to do that is just amazing.
Muhammad Ali is the only one. No, like you're right. Muhammad Ali is the only athlete I've ever seen. Like, rest in peace, my brother. That one, he would say, round 4, this minute, I'm gonna knock you out, and he would do that.
Yeah.
He would do just that.
And it's even more double the hype, right? You want to stand up and go, oh, what the?
Damn. Right? Mo, who do you feel like who's someone that connected?
I have two, but I'll choose the one.
Let's pick 2 then. Tell us the 2 and why.
No, I'll pick one because is it yesterday or 2 days ago was his birthday. For me, it's Malcolm X. Growing up, I remember my dad was just enthusiastic about this person. I didn't know who he was, And then anything my dad did, I love to do and stuff, right? So I remember he just go to downtown Toronto, grab some cassettes, and just watch the videos and stuff, right? And then one day he's looking at me, he's like, come sit down. So I sit with him, I'm 6 years old, and I'm watching the video, and then this guy, just tall, light-skinned person, full of energy, passion, berating the white person as a devil and stuff, whatever. I'm like, what's going on and stuff, right? And then I'm seeing these images of black teenagers being sprayed with water, the dogs and everything. I'm like, what's going on and stuff, right? Everything's in black and white, so you realize it's a different landscape, a different time and stuff, right? And then you see his energy and his anger being towards this group of people that's holding his people back, right? And he's preaching about unity, he's preaching about economic empowerment, he's preaching about just knowledge of self and just how we can come together and just infiltrate the system they're already living in, a Jim Crow systemic era, and transcend it into a place and period where black people could be the benefactors of their own communities, right? And just creating that generational wealth that the Italians had, that the Irish people had, that of course every other race had except the black people.
So
right?
that their race has a chance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That we succeed, like we deserve to succeed also, right? And my dad's like, here's the book. I'm looking at the book, the autobiography of Malcolm X. I start reading it, and then as I'm reading it, it's like, you just stop, because this man, until he died, he technically, assassination of course, he lived the life of so many people. It's incredible what he
100%.
did within 39 years of his lifespan. I'm assuming it's 39. Hopefully, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
You know, it's
incredible.
it's
right?
cool too because I can this one thing. It's cool because he's also the reason why Muhammad Ali converted to Islam.
Exactly.
Yes.
His even though people know him for the knowledge, people don't know him for his eloquence, the way he spoke, the way he just had so much convincing ideas. The number one thing that he did, which goes unnoticed, was a sacrifice. He did not want any of the credit. He gave it all to his idol, his father figure, Elijah Muhammad. He didn't want any of the money. He didn't have anything by the time of his death. He didn't have anything. The only thing he had was the principle that he believed in, which was just benefacting in the empowerment of black community, right? So the sacrifice that Malcolm X gave, and with Muhammad Ali also. When Muhammad Ali was, when they told him that he had to split from Malcolm X, Malcolm told them, I was not using you for your money, I was not using you for your fame. I just saw something in you that I did not see in anyone else. That's all I want you to know. And Muhammad Ali said that that's one thing he regretted for the rest of his life. The fact that he betrayed Malcolm, and Malcolm was actually speaking the truth in a period in time where everyone else was just speaking in false facts.
The biggest thing that Muhammad Ali sacrificed, and it just occurred to me right now after you said that, is when he got drafted to the army, and he had said no, and he said, well, you're gonna go to jail if you don't go. He's like, take me to jail. He's like, I'm not. He said, I'm not gonna go fight innocent people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they took the belt away from him.
That's so much respect.
Yep.
That's so much respect.
So that shows you, in his head, it's not about the win. It's not about the championship. It's about the true heart, sincerity, and how close he is to his goal.
Yeah.
Because he knew he'll win the championship again.
Of course.
Exactly.
He didn't care about the championship.
He saw it in his heart.
It's just required for someone, but I'll come back and grab it with the ease. That's how it works.
Mo, what was the one thing about Malcolm X that made you just like fill up with like passion and energy, that made you just go like, oh my God, like I love this person. I love this person.
Yeah. So the thing is, you know how like when people talk, it's okay, like I understand this person. When you hear some people speak, it's like, where's that energy coming from? Like, what are they saying? Like, where? Like, it's a God-given thing, right? So, watching the guy, there's so much character, there's so much different mysteries surrounding the mystique of Malcolm X. But for me, I guess the ultimate thing is just knowing he knew about his past. He came from a past where he was a hustler. He was one time kind of a pimp. Like, he came from a devilish past, and when he was in jail, he saw that Islam, the religion, was the truth. And the point is, since he was a kid, he was searching for the truth. And even though he went through all these trials and tribulations, he knew that when he finally figured out the truth, he will do everything in his power to make up for his past. Not only to the people that he knew, but the people that he did not know. So therefore, they will not follow the same mistakes that he made in his past. So I think that for me, Malcolm, the biggest thing that he had on me was, I know my past. I was not good as my former self. Just like all of us, we have a past that we're not probably proud of. We are who we are, but knowing what we're doing right now, we want to make a better place, right? We want to create a better world. So I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that my past self knows that the future and the present me is doing something that's powerful and positive, right? That's something that he left on me that I will never ever forget, right? And something you got to pass down also.
You know, they all had I guess good energy, right? and how hard they work towards their goal. Like Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Bruce Lee, all three of them, they created a change
Yeah.
and influenced their own, I guess, work of like field, like obviously.
Yeah.
And what they did to a lot of people, and a lot of people resemble, like even Conor McGregor. I remember I was watching an interview. He said he tries to like do his tactics of fighting similar to Bruce Lee. Like each of those three individuals are still respected till this
Of
day.
course.
Yeah.
It's timeless.
It's timeless.
People
It's
will
timeless.
always bring up Muhammad Ali's name as the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
People in the UFC will always say Bruce Lee, greatest of all time. You know, because they may not be the strongest people, but the heart, the hard work, the energy they had every single day, not one of them would come with a bad attitude.
Yeah.
Muhammad
Yes,
Ali, Muhammad
exactly.
Ali would even when he lost a fight, he'd come back up and he's like, it's not the. He had over like 60 fights for. He only lost 5. He only lost 5.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali. He only lost 5. That's insane.
You know what's special about Malcolm? Malcolm had the world in his hand. Usually when people have the world in their hand, they use it for power, for dominance, right?
And
They
then
wanna
it
be a
goes back on
dictator.
them, and then it falls
So
back on
he
them.
had a following. He had the Nation of Islam. He took people from groups of hundreds to thousands to millions at one point. So he had millions of followers around the world. He did not use it to his advantage to gain bad traction.
Yep.
He also had access to money. All the money he was receiving, he did not care. He made sure he went back to the organization so therefore they could just fulfill and just proceed with caution and just with action. So he had power, he had money, he had access, he had following, he had fame.
And he didn't let it get to his
The
head.
media, he had the media at his hand. Instead of using the media to make himself as a godly figure, he used it to push his message across. So I think the point, what I'm saying is, you can have the money, you can have the power, you can have the fame, you can have the credibility, you can have the media. But what Malcolm had with all of that, the one thing, besides having all those factors, people just want to hear him speak. Everyone just wanted a piece of his mind.
He spoke truth.
So even though he had the power, he had the access to the money,
Wow.
the fame, media, everything, we all just wanted to hear this man's mind because he was coming from a place that was genuine, authentic, and it was something that you've never heard before. It's probably something you're never gonna hear in your lifetime ever again. And that's why we respect people like him, Muhammad Ali, Steve Jobs, and all these different people. So that's the problem. Like, you can have anything you want. But the thing about Malcolm, we just want to hear what's on his mind because something that was on his mind would make us remember that tomorrow's coming. So we better be prepared because if we're not prepared, we're gonna be walking around the streets just confused, like a zombie, like a walking dead zombie, not knowing what's going on and stuff, right? So those
And-
people come once in a lifetime. Once in a lifetime.